Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your boy Kenny, and this is Love, Sex, and Marriage, Season 1, Episode 3, and the name of this episode is Get It Together. This was a really damn good episode, and it definitely spoke a lot of volumes, and I'm definitely going to get through this, and one thing I will say is that some of my hypotheses was right, and then there was a hypothesis I had that was wrong, and I'm going to address them both. But before I get started, let me send a special shout out to my best friend Kenneth Chooks of the K2 Spot. He did a phenomenal review of this show. Definitely check him out if you haven't already done so. But yes, I really am loving this show, and I am so on the edge of my seat to find out what's going to happen next, because this shit was crazy. So let me begin. The episode opens up with Darren and Ken. Ken is asleep. Darren is on some sneaky shit, like looking to see if he's up, and he's literally watching porn while he's in bed with his man. And I'm like, see, this is some crazy shit going on here. And y'all definitely know, if y'all watched my last episode, of where I stand with Darren. Yeah, definitely I got eyes on that motherfucker, because Darren is on some serious fuck shit. And next thing you know, we see that Ken's phone goes off, and Ken definitely is one of those type of people that you do not fuck with him while he's asleep, because he's just like, what the hell? And like Darren is telling him, look, your phone ringing, you need to answer your phone. So he answers his phone, and it's Andre. Andre has gotten robbed on Peachtree Street somewhere, and he needs Ken to go pick him up because he's stranded, and literally he's pretty much, in a very dangerous situation. So Ken pretty much gets up out of bed to go get him. Darren also goes with him, and they go to pick up Andre. When we see Andre, when they come back, it was like at 2 a.m. when he got up and left. They didn't get home till like 6 in the morning. So when he brings Andre in, we see that Andre got fucked up. Like, literally fucked up. I mean, we literally saw that, his shirt was ripped, his pants were stolen, he didn't have no shoes on, and somebody beat the dog shit out of him. So of course, Ken got his questions, as anybody would in a situation like that. What the fuck is going on? And Andre is being very, it's not really being very direct. He's just saying, I don't want to talk about it. I don't, just leave it alone. But then you got Darren being a messy motherfucker, sitting on the edge of the couch and everything, talking about something. He was hoeing. That's what he was doing. And I'm just sitting there like, you really are kind of thinking this shit is funny. This boy could have died. Because it's obviously he's in an industry that he doesn't understand, or he doesn't know the rules or how to play the game when you're in that kind of industry. So pretty much he finally admits to Ken that, yeah, he is a prostitute, because he definitely told Darren that he hates him, because Darren is kind of, mocking at it like, yeah, he was out there hoeing. That's the reason why he got messed up and all that shit. But it also makes me question, I'm going to get to that. Let me not jump the gun. But, Darren is sitting there kind of making fun of it when this is not a funny situation. So he's like, what the hell is going on? And like, he pretty much says that, yeah, finally Andre admits that, yes, I'm a prostitute. I've been out here selling, I've been out here, having sex for money. And he explains that what happened was that he had sex with this John. The John didn't want to pay him, so the John ended up beating his ass. Now, honey, this goes to show you that my hypothesis of what I said about Andre is correct. That he's insecure, he's gullible, and he has low self-esteem. Because if you're going to be into that industry, a hoe always lets you know the price up front. And the hoe, since she is the business and she has the supply and the demand, You got the upper hand, bitch. Because at the end of the day, this person is trying to pay you for what you have, meaning that tongue, that dick, and that ass is part of your business expense. So when it comes down to it, you don't do nothing until money is presented. See, that's something that lets me know right there. Andre is just one of these gullible people who got into escorting, not knowing the dangers of it and not knowing the business side of it. Because you have to run escorting like you do a regular business. You are providing a good and a service. You don't provide shit until you get that money. So we see that he's making these amateur mistakes because he doesn't know what the hell he's doing. So if anything, after he tells him all this, Ken is like flabbergasted. He's like, first of all, what the hell you mean you prostituting? And then he turns to Darren like, Darren, how the hell you know about this? And then all of a sudden, this one I was really for Andre. Andre was like, yeah, Darren, how do you know? And then he's like, I got friends. You want to see? He's like, yeah, let's see. But we already kind of think that Andre, definitely in his mind kind of knows something up with Darren too. But the question is, will Ken believe him? Because we already are now seeing that Andre is known to be the screw up out the crew. So will he even be believable if he were to come out and say anything? So pretty much, after Ken hears all this, Ken was like, oh, well, I'm glad this is out in the open, but I'm glad to say that this shit ends now. And then Andre had the nerve to say, you ain't my mama. I'm grown and I can do what I want to do. Oh, this set Ken off. Because Ken was like, motherfucker, have you looked at your face? If your face wasn't bruised, I would slap the shit out of you. Don't you ever talk to me like that again. And then he goes to tell his ass, I got up out of my bed at 2 in the morning to go save your ass. I'm the one who gave you a roof over your head when you had nowhere else to go. I have been the one since high school getting you out of fuck shit that you constantly put yourself in, and I've always had your back. So as far as I'm concerned, until you get your shit together, I am the motherfucking CEO of your ass. Now go wash your face. I was like, you better go off, Ken. Yes! I was Team Ken at that moment, slightly. Because the same way you went off on Andre's ass, you should have went off on that motherfucking Darren. Because how is it that Darren knew about that shit and didn't say shit to you about it? That should definitely, make the light bulb go off. Like, what the fuck is Darren's motives? And he pretty much says that, why would you tell me anything? Because all of a sudden Darren was like, dang, baby, you told him. I'm like, somebody need to slap the dog shit out of Darren, like for real. Because he really thinks this shit is funny. And Ken was like, whoa, but I should be also talking to you too, because why would you not tell me that Andre was involved in this shit? You know how naive he is. Exactly. He knows how naive he is, and he's playing off of his naivete. That's a motherfucker that's dangerous, and a motherfucker who definitely doesn't have any good motives. So we see that he kind of embraces Ken, and he's like, yeah, baby, you right, I should have told you, I'm sorry. And Ken just immediately falls into it. So with that scene, it was kind of like Belshazzar's feast. The writing was on the wall, but nobody read the damn writing. So then we see that definitely this whole situation got Ken, feeling all kind of ways. So he decides to go to Vontae's restaurant. And we see my girl, Ashley, a.k.a. the hostess with the mostest. He runs into Ashley, and he's asking, where's Vontae? And she's like, do you see me walking around with Vontae in my back pocket? I don't know where the hell he at. Won't you find him? And then they're like, girl, aren't you a host? Ain't that your job? She's like, yeah, whatever. Anyway, but she's like, well, can you take me to a table? She's like, all these damn tables in here? Won't you find a table to sit at? He up in here somewhere. Gone. and Kim was like, girl, you are too much. I'm like, Ashley's funny. I mean, Ashley's that type of chick that goes to work and don't do no work and then tell you, I need a raise and I need this and I need that. I deserve a raise. Like, bitch, you don't do nothing. But it was hilarious. So then we actually see that he finally sits down with Vontae. Vontae lets him know that they talk about Andre, and he does let Ken know that, yes, I found out about Andre a week ago. He told me not to say anything, so I did not want to upset you, so that's why I didn't tell you. But then, you know, Ken is like, damn, does everybody know about this? Am I like the last one to know? Somewhat, you know, because personally, I don't think Terrell even knows who's hoeing. But then we actually, but pretty much he's saying that, look, you know, and pretty much Vontae kind of told, you know, Ken the real, like, look, you know, it's messed up. I'm not happy about it. I know you don't approve of this. Neither do I. But at the end of the day, he's a grown man, and we got to let him live. Yeah, that's true. But unfortunately, Andre doesn't know how to live. Successfully, that is. So that's pretty much the issue. But then they start talking about, next thing you know, we see that Vontae starts talking about Dion. And he is like so head over heels for Dion and said that maybe, you know, me and Dion can do a double date with you and Darren. I'm like, oh shit, because it seemed to me that Darren as well as Dion are cut from the same cloth, and it would be really funny if the two of them actually know each other. So I'm like, oh great, one fuckboy to another, because we already know that Dion is playing a role for Vontae, and it's making me question, is that the same thing Darren is doing with Ken? That he literally played a role to get this man, knowing at the end of the day, he's nothing to what he's presented. Because we're saying that, yeah, Dion is playing like he's this great guy, but we know that Dion is a fuckboy and he's fucking with Terrell, because as soon as they finish talking about Dion, Terrell finally shows up. He has a run-in with Ashley. Ashley was like, won't you just go in there and find them? You'll find the Desperate Housewives in there somewhere. And he's like, girl, you need to do your damn job and get some dick in your life. And she says, well, first of all, you need to put Peter back in his pants before Peter falls off. You fucking everything. And he's like, you need some Peter. So I thought that shit was cute. So finally, Terrell joins them. And pretty much, and also Vontae's like, what the hell are you doing here, Terrell? And he's like, well, it is a public place, and besides, you need to be thanking me, Vontae. I'm the one that's helping your business. You see all them cute guys at the bar? And she said, and Vontae's like, them guys ain't here for you. And he's like, yeah, but they eye candy though. And then Ken was like, boy, please, you need to stop. And they're like, he's like, you ain't eye candy, fat ass. He's like, neither are you, ho. So we see them two got that back and forth thing, but you can definitely tell there's some chemistry there between them, and I think that's going to be explored later on. So Terrell actually asks, and the funny thing about it, he asked Ken first. There's this party that he wants to go to, so he was saying, do you think your man gonna let you out past curfew? And he's like, first of all, my man does not have that kind of control over me, but I got stuff to do, and I just not really am not with that scene no more, so I'm not going. And then Vontae's like, I got a shipment coming in the morning. And he's like, why don't you take Andre? And immediately, what I thought about Terrell and Andre's relationship, I was dead fucking wrong. Because I thought there's something that went on between them. Terrell just plays with him like that. He really hasn't had sex with Andre at all, because immediately he's like, oh hell no, Andre too fucking childish. I ain't trying to be caught up in Andre and his shit. I don't want that. But then next thing you know, we see Andre shows up, so all four of the guys are together, and then Vontae was like, oh Andre, Terrell's going out to a party tonight. You want to go with him? And like he's just looking at damn Vontae like, I hate your ass. And he's like, quiet as kept, honey. Now you got somebody to go with you. But I'm like, but as I said before, but what I'm going to say here is that we're already seeing amongst these group of friends, Andre ain't going to be the only one with some drama. There's going to be drama with all of them. So Andre, I would have to say, is the person with the most obvious drama, but all of their drama is already there's already detonators being set up. And when that explosion goes off, they probably going to be in more fucked up shit than Andre's ass. So we just got to keep watching. But yeah, we're already seeing that, yeah, there's some shit with all of them. So pretty much we end up seeing that after, you know, they kind of like, you know, kiki with each other, we see that Ken and Andre have a conversation, and Ken and like Andre's like, you still mad at me? And he's like, look, I don't approve of this, but, you know, you're my friend and I care about you. But then Andre says that, look, I don't want to do this no more. You know, tomorrow, he's like, you know, I really want your help to look for a job. And he says, okay, we can do that tomorrow. But then once he was about to say something about Darren, you know, Ashley came over and said that, look, we got a party coming in, so if y'all queens want to sit up in here and talk, y'all need to go to the bar. So while they were going to the bar, Andre was trying to tell him shit about Darren, but Ken didn't want to hear it. And I'm like, again, the writing on the wall, no one's reading it. He's pretty much trying to tell you that, look, Ken kind of came at me sideways on your anniversary party, and I'm beginning to think he's more involved out here than you think he is. Ain't like, oh, just some friend. Ain't no friend just gonna randomly tell you some information like that. You obviously more in it than you're claiming. So if anything, we've seen that Andre kind of peeping some of the game that Darren's pulling, but then again, the challenge is, will Ken believe him? So then we go to the, we get another scene where Terrell and Andre are at the party, they drinking, and Andre goes off to, talk to some people or whatever, you know, the party's lit and everything, and next thing you know, we see Andre's by himself drinking, and we get a scene where there's this table of these guys who are obviously trade, and they start talking back and forth about Andre, and they like, yo, ain't that the hoe from so-and-so's house? And it's like, nah, that ain't him. Like, yo, that's him, yo. He's like, well, hell, go holler at him. Shit, he don't cost that much. That really made me sad that this man is being displayed like that out here in these streets. This is what people are thinking about Andre, because he has submerged himself into this lifestyle, and due to the fact that he's gullible and that he's naive to what's going on around him, he doesn't even realize that at that moment he's being marked, because the guy's like, well, why don't you go holler at him, he don't cost that much, and he was like, he's gonna be free today. And they go over there, these two guys, they obviously looking at his ass, because his ass is plump in them sweatpants. So you already know they are about to do a hashtag tag team, and they're gonna run a train on him. But the thing is, they talking to him and they asking him questions. He's like, so what you drinking? He's like, I'm drinking a Long Island. He's like, yo, why don't you get my man a drink? So we obviously realize they're drugging him. He drinks the drink and he starts getting all kind of like, out of sorts, and he starts getting really hot. Then they get him a soda, which he also drugged. So he got double drugged. And then the next thing you know, Andre was out. And they literally take him up to a room and they strip him down. Then we see that Terrell is going through the entire house, because after he's finished talking to a friend of his, he goes in there looking for Andre, and he's like, yo, Andre was just here. Where the fuck did he go? And he's going through the whole house screaming Andre's name. But we see that Andre is in the room with these two guys who have stripped him down, and we see that one of them actually had sex with him, and the other guy was about to get his turn. And that's when Terrell came in, and let me say Terrell came through. I was like Black Panther all day, baby. And it made me a diehard fan of Terrell, because Terrell came up in there, he beat those niggas' asses, and then he picked up Andre, and he pretty much picked him up and took him out of there. And I was like, yo, I have a whole nother level of respect for Terrell, and it obviously shows that Terrell gives a fuck about his friends. That's how you hold your friends down. So we see the next morning, we see that Andre wakes up in Terrell's bed, and Terrell's dressed up, so we actually get the indication there's nothing sexual going on between the two of them. And he was kind of like, did you? And Terrell was like, boy, please. Hell no. But he pretty much says that you really don't know what happened the other night. And he said that all I remember is that I was just drinking with these guys and I went blank. Everything went blank after that. Terrell let him know. And again, just goes to his naivete. You, for one, these dudes out here literally march your ass. And if anything, if you have any thought to what you're getting into, you never let someone make your drink, especially if you at a party and you don't know those people. The only person you knew was Terrell. If anybody should have made your drink, it should have been Terrell's ass. And that's the only fucking person, unless there's a bartender that's working the party. But if there ain't no damn bartender, you make your own damn drinks. And he pretty much said, and pretty much Terrell told him, like, look, you just can't be having random drinks with random ass niggas, man. And he said that, and then he's, you know, of course, Andre breaks down. She's like, why do I keep doing this shit? What is wrong with me? And it makes me question that there's probably some more sinister things that happened to Andre, probably in his childhood, that has made him the way he is. Because the funny thing about it, he's not a dumb person, but he makes bad decisions that come back to bite him in the ass. So we're seeing at this moment Terrell as being a friend, and he's saying that, look, you know, we're going to get you tested, we're going to make sure that you're good, you know, and he says, I'm not going to tell Ken because Ken going to want to kill your ass, and then he going to end up blaming me because I'm the one that took you to that party. So we actually see that's what's going on. But I have to say, this was a very powerful episode. I enjoyed it from beginning to end, and it was very moving. But that's what I have, y'all. If I missed anything, put it down in the comments. I'd love to talk to you about it. But subscribe to my channel. Click that bell so you get notifications every time I drop a video. Also, follow me on all of my social platforms. I have them all listed in the description box. Also, like this video, comment on this video, and share this video. And I will be back with the next episode of Love, Sex, and Marriage. This is a great show, y'all. Y'all definitely need to get on to this. So until next time, everybody, take care.